Maybe I'm feeling like I'm in a festive mood. It's Thanksgiving. I have upstairs right now. All right, this is my studio in the basement. Standard, right? Studio in the basement. Maybe not. I don't know. But upstairs, I have a 17-pound brisket that I will start tonight for Thanksgiving tomorrow. And don't even get me started on how long you should cook a turkey. On my radio show today, that became a very intense debate. Do you do it at temperatures like 300 degrees for like 4 or 5 hours? Do you do it at a temperature like 170, which is completely and totally insane? Or do you do 225, 250 for a longer amount of times? This woman was trying to make an 18-pound turkey on a smoker. There was a lot of debate. A tremendous amount. The only one I know, you can't do it at 170 degrees. That doesn't work. That's not even science, people. Welcome everybody to the show presented by Americans for Prosperity, AmericansForProsperity.org. Man, it is expensive. It is outrageously expensive this year for Thanksgiving, and everybody is fully aware of it, although not enough people are talking about the reasons why and what it is that it means we should be doing in addressing it. When I say everybody is talking about it, holy hell, even CNN gets the point.
Look around the Thanksgiving table this year, just about everything is more expensive. Take a look. This is just a few of the products. Right at the center of the table, of course, turkey up 24% this year, and that's partly because of that avian flu outbreak you mentioned. But look, we're talking about price hikes on potatoes and cranberry sauce and pie crust. The list goes on, and there's a real impact to families. We just heard from a retired couple that was coming out of the grocery store that was feeling that sticker shock because they realized how much heavier Thanksgiving is going to weigh on their budget this year. This is just one more inflation strain that so many families, they've been dealing with higher prices for months and months now, dealing with grocery costs in general, heating costs now heading into the winter, electricity and gasoline. And look, I've spoken with hundreds of people here in recent months, I should say, Jim, talking about how they're adjusting their budget. And one of the major things people are doing is changing their diet. That may mean eating less meat or going to restaurants less often, and now it's changing the way they're shopping for Thanksgiving. We heard from a couple that was coming out of the grocery store saying that, after seeing the prices this year, the change they're making, they're going to be buying less food. They're going to be buying fewer side dishes. And so for a lot of families, Jim, you may see a less full table tomorrow. As long as it's surrounded by family members, it'll still mean a lot. But, of course, food just so much pricier for people.
I think it was sweet, as long as you're surrounded by the people you love. And that's not wrong, except that's part of the problem. Everyone's talking about the price of food being more expensive. They're not wrong. Everything you're seeing and blaming it on avian bird flu, I think, is a little bit of a stretch in the overall. But all they're talking about is the food prices. They're not talking about the fact that grandma could not come visit this year because the flights are so outrageously expensive. Even though gas prices have trended down, as they often do in winter months, we are still well above where we were when Joe Biden took office. And that has prevented people from engaging in traveling. The one thing I'm very, very happy about in that CNN report, that's right, I said happy about a CNN report, is that conversation about heating oil, something we have been discussing. If you go back to previous videos, and of course, you'll listen to my shows at WIBC.com, or you might hear them in places across the country. This winter, people are going to choose between heat and eat. This isn't a debate. This isn't some kind of fancy or manipulative wordplay, a little sleight of hand, a little trick of the tongue. This is exactly what's going to happen. Because those heating oil prices, those heating fuel prices are going to be outrageously high. We've been talking about a diesel shortage going on in the United States of America. The harder it is to get diesel, the less trucking takes place, the more expensive the trucking is that does take place. How does the diesel fuel, how does the heating oil, I should say, get from point A to point B? Specifically, all those places on the East Coast, the Northeast, that utilize it with such frequency. People are talking about the food. They're not talking about everything else that's coming into play, everything else that matters so incredibly much. Now, you guys know that I do work with AFP, Americans for Prosperity, and this was their headline the other day. So this was I've got that in the way. I'm sorry, I'll get rid of that. Boom. how wasteful spending is driving up the cost of your holidays this year. And I appreciate it very much that they're on top of this subject, because this subject is about why your vote matters. This is what this Thanksgiving is. This Thanksgiving, if you want a subject that you want to bring up to those possibly left-leaning relatives, and I don't, man, I know I'm the only one who talks about this. I don't understand why people go to family dinners where like everyone's like politically abusive, and they think that they could just yell at you and scream at you for being on the political right or being a conservative or an independent or not thinking like they do in general, right? And they can say anything they want. Somehow you're supposed to just relax. It's going to be okay. Just hold your tongue. They'll be gone soon. Why do you invite them? Why do you show up? Whoever said your job is to be abused come Thanksgiving? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't know why people do it. My advice, don't do it. You don't have to show up. You don't have to show up for Thanksgiving on Thursday. The world will still be here on Friday. Wait, it will, right? Yeah. Well, it will still be here on Friday. You don't have to go to places where you're not loved. You don't have to go to places where you're not respected. You do not have to go to places where you are abused because somebody decides they know everything about the political this, or they want to start a fight with you at the political that, and they want to scream and yell and be crazy. Let them be crazy without you. Eat your damn stuffing in peace. You deserve peaceful stuffing. It's just a little bit of thing from me to you. But if you want to have the conversation this Thanksgiving, let's talk about how important it is to vote for policy and not people. Let's see how important it is, discuss how important it is to vote for rationality and not based on emotion. This is why the meal is so much more expensive. Here they are. The policies coming out of DC. And those policies involve printing money, borrowing money, and not having a way to pay back the money. Translation, the spending causes everything to go up. That's the answer. Our inflationary issues come from the place that we spend too much. We don't have enough goods to buy. When you have too much cash and not enough stuff, what you have is inflation. We put $1.9 trillion into the economy for the American Rescue Plan. We then engage the Inflation Reduction Act. Oh my God, I'm going to get cramps from all these air quotes. And that doesn't reduce inflation at all. It's a tax and spend bill. That increases and exacerbates inflation. And that's why your dinner rolls cost so damn much. Full disclosure, we don't have dinner rolls on my Thanksgiving table. This year, I just found out we're having beer bread. I don't know. The kids love it. So, all right, put beer bread on the table. You're not gonna upset me. I will have my face into the 17-pound brisket. I have no time for you people. I am also smoking a turkey breast because that's the part that people eat. And turkey is not the best part of Thanksgiving. The sides are the best part of Thanksgiving, unless, of course, you're with me and I make the brisket, in which case the brisket and the sides are the best part of Thanksgiving. Oh, and no crazy people screaming at you and yelling at you about their politics. I'm telling you, it is a peaceful, food-induced coma bliss. You're all invited. Get on over here. Just turn left at Albuquerque and you'll be there. That's a Bugs Bunny reference. You're welcome, people who are products of the 80s. This is where we're at. This is why it matters to vote for policy and not for personalities. Don't tell me about how nice somebody is. Oh, they care about someone like me. Joe Biden's policies don't care about anyone like you, which is, well, you. You're telling me you voted because, well, they really care about people like me. John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, the senator-elect, cares about people like you when he has stated clearly, to the extent that he states anything clearly these days. Again, the man had a stroke. He needs time to heal. And Pennsylvania was like, still our choice. He's going to vote with Joe Biden on every single progressive policy, every single one. Tell me, Western Pennsylvania, how is that caring about people like you? You can argue with me that Dr. Oz came across as a fake and a phony, making his crudité and New Jersey houses. I'm not going to tell you no. And by the way, anytime somebody has to question whether they live in the state, admittedly, that's a bad sign right there. But he would have voted for policies that would have made it easier for you to have people around the table, never mind having the food on the table at a price where you could afford to feed everybody. That's the argument. And it's not an argument that comes out of, left field. It's an argument that is clear. You can't even begin to deny it. Unless, of course, you want to say, well, that Vladimir Putin. If Vladimir Putin and the Russian invasion of Ukraine is the problem, why are gas prices going down? There. That's it. That is the end of the conversation. Anybody who after that says, doesn't say, well, you've got a point, who says, yeah, but that's the person you don't invite again to the Thanksgiving meal. I'm laying it out for you. I'm making it easy for you guys. We have a real dilemma for a lot of families who have not been able to be able. Is that the right way? Yes, that is. To have the people they wanted around their Thanksgiving table or to feed them the way they chose. I think that CNN reporting is actually beyond accurate. Again, freaks me out, but CNN being beyond accurate. They do get it right every now and again when they're actually doing reporting and they're not engaged in narrative searching. There are still things to be thankful for. Certainly, I have this absolutely glorious family that I don't talk much about. I keep my private life rather private. But I'm a fortunate man, good, decent, happy, joyous people. And I only hope they stay that way for the rest of their lives, engaged in fun activities, trying new things and having a solid outlook. I have a wife who is, perfect. I don't say that to be, oh, look at me. You'll note I don't post on social media about family. I never have. Again, I keep my privacy, but don't ever think that I don't every day notice how fortunate I am, regardless of anything else. And I am very fortunate that I've got this and I've got you and your support of this show and what I do on radio and all the other things, that there's this base of people who are like, we dig what you're talking about, Cats, and we want to be in on that. I am full of good fortune. I am aware of this every day, even when I was in the depths of broke about a decade ago. Yeah, a decade ago. Just bad. Oh, was it bad? I still had some good fortune. I've been able to build on that and grow that. And somewhere in your life, there is good fortune. Somewhere in your life, there is something good. There is something to be thankful for. And I do think that the most important part about Thanksgiving is not the eating, although it is fantastic. There's a chocolate tort that is upstairs. So basically, it is a homemade chocolate cake, right? And you make it like in a spring form pan. You take it off, boop, done. And then you cut it boop, right in half. And then you layer it with Nutella and a homemade whipped cream, which I think we're gonna do a little bit of an Irish cream. I think they were trying to say. I don't know how it's gonna work with the Nutella, but I don't care. And then you put the other cake on top, and then more whipped cream, and then you drizzle it with a little bit of chocolate. It hardens up. And you put it in the fridge, and you eat it cold. And it's so good, so good. I'm gonna have just a 5 slices. That's it. I am holding back this year. I've been working hard. Don't want to give it all up in a day. It's awesome. The food's awesome. It is important to take a moment. It really is. The important part about Thanksgiving is a recognition of looking inward. And how often in today's society does anybody actually look inward? The question of what are you thankful for? People go around the table and say what they're thankful for. That's a hard one because it involves being introspective and actually asking yourself a question and searching and digging. And in that is something very, very American as I see it, and something rather spiritual. And a lot of people, they just avoid that altogether. I don't think you should avoid that at all. I don't want to avoid it. I think it's the thing that matters most. You do have things to be thankful for, but be clear that the real world still exists. And the real world made Thanksgiving much more difficult for a lot of families. And that's a policy-related subject. You don't vote for bad policies. You don't vote for people who push bad policies. You don't vote on emotion. Oh, they care about me. Oh, I think they're super neato. You vote on how it's going to affect your life, the life of your family. Whether that's your grandparents or that's your grandkids or anybody in between. That's why you vote. How does it better or worse in America? And then you vote for the thing that betters America. That's just obvious as can be. Christine, she will take, where'd it go? There it is. She'll take brisket over turkey any day. So will I. So will I, because it's brisket. And brisket is delicious. It is going on about an hour and 15 minutes. It will be at 225. It is a salt and pepper rub. I use the Cat Simple rub. The Eat Drink Smoke Simple Rub is what we'll call it. My show, Eat Drink Smoke, eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Oh, fantastic. Cigar and bourbon, food, so great. And I do equal parts. So this was 3/4 of a cup, kosher salt and black pepper. There's a part of me that thinks I actually overdid it. And then the other part of me says, don't worry, it'll be fine. Because the last one I made, I thought I underdid it. So maybe I overcompensated, but it was 17 pounds. Maybe when I did the trimming, it was 15 and a half, 15 and a quarter pounds. Like there was actually, I did a good bit of trimming on this one. So I think I'm going to be all right. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be all right. Everybody prefers my dressing over the turkey. That's the one thing I have been requested to make, that and pumpkin bread. First of all, pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread. All right, you want an unpopular opinion? Fine. Pumpkin bread is better than pumpkin pie. Fight me. I don't mind. I'll take you out right now. I will clock you. Bam, like that. Oh yeah, pumpkin bread. Again, cold. It's got to have that little bit of chill. I don't know. I think it keeps the moisture a little bit better. Yes, and pumpkin bread should be eaten not by the slice, but by the loaf. That is absolutely, positively accurate. Oh, also, Sharon, dressing or stuffing, because I know it is stuffing. And there's this whole thing about how in the South it's called dressing, every place else it's called stuffing. I don't even know. I do not know how the word dressing even came into being. I don't know how that became a thing. It's stuffing. I know it's not something to fight over, but I figured if we're gonna have anything, we can fight about that. And no, the Canadians heard Sault Ste. Marie ran out of diesel. Really? Huh. Well, that's not good at all. Now, is it? Guys, I gotta run because there's a brisket to make, and I'm gonna have to do some bicep curls in order to lift this thing. I appreciate you. I can't tell you how very much I appreciate you. Don't forget to check out Locals, TonyKatz.locals.com. I'd love it if you became a subscriber. That would be fantastic if you did. Everything we've moved over from Facebook is now on Locals right there. And don't forget to subscribe on Rumble, rumble.com/TonyKatz. I'd be, again, super appreciative as we build out the video work over there so very much. Can't thank you enough. I'm going to enjoy my Thanksgiving, and Nicole, I enjoy listening to you. So there's that. Guys, happy Thanksgiving. I will talk to you very soon. Take care.